interpreter begins by narrating a story that occurred in the African town called Mato, where in the first chapter called The Voice in the Dark. They describe in a first signs a car that moved slowly down the road, in where the driver was a black African man and the co-pilot a blond white man who wrote a list of names in a blue notebook. In the back seat was another white man with long dark hair sitting in the back seat holding two cameras. Slowly the two men, Simon Broom and Sola, got out of the car and crossing the street to a large old stadium. In that place they found a children and a boy shot them causing his death. The photographer Philip, when listening to the shots, ran out of the car until he got lost in the forest. In the United Nations building in New York, the main room was full of people. There were ambassadors from all over the world and his assistant listening to the speech of the Spanish ambassador. The interpreters in their booths repeat their words in different language. Outside of this room, the UN security chief reported that he had a security problem at the main entrance, whereby they placed the Secretary General in the safe room and removed the Spanish ambassadors from the building, then removed everyone from the building. Sylvia left the building and left her music case in the booth. After the hours passed and it was already night, Sylvia entered the UN building and went upstairs. She opened the door to the interpreter booth and picked up his music case. Then she heard the voice of a man, who whispered, "The teacher never jumped out of this room." He was speaking in Ku, in the language of Madou. When Sylvia turned on the cabin light and the men stopped talking, Sylvia quickly turned off the light, but it was too late, because she could not see to the men, but he could see her. Then Sylvia ran and hid until she stopped hearing noise in the building. Then she moved to her house with great fear. The chapter 2, True or Lies? The next morning, Sylvia went to pick up her motorcycle from the nearest garage, where she did not notice the African man, who was watching her. As Sylvia moved through the traffic in her rear view mirror and could see the car following her. So she accelerated her motorcycle until she was out of sight. Later, when Sylvia arrived at the UN, she came to a room for a private meeting with the Mato ambassador, where Sylvia spoke the Ku language. At this meeting, the American ambassador in English said that President Sawan was a problem, to which the Matoan ambassador in Ku responded saying that Dr. Sawan was his teacher, and the rebels Kuman Kuman and Sola and their friends heard the problem, the real problem. The US ambassador replied that they wanted President Suwan to leave Mato to tell him. "You can tell him," said the Matoan ambassador in perfect English. President Suwan speaks to the United Nations next Friday. Sylvia recorded the words from the night before. The teacher will never leave this room. Edmond Swan, who was the teacher, did anyone want to kill him at the UN building? She had to tell someone. For this, Sylvia went to the UN Security Office and reported what had happened the previous night. She said that she had heard the word "the teacher" in the same way that she had heard it the same day in the private meeting where President Suwan was referred to as the teacher. "Please call the Secret Service," said the Chief of Security. Secret Service Agent Woods answered the phone call. An hour later, she and Tobin Keller drove through New York to the UN building. When they arrived at the security office, the chief found them the situation regarding the interpretation and the possible attack on President Suwan on Friday when he arrived. So Tobin and Dot went to speak to the performance to find out if what she said was true or false, true or lies. Tobin asked Sylvia questions like, "What did you hear? If you hear the voice again, will you recognize it? You were in the interpreter boat at night. Why?" So Sylvia identified that Tobin believed Sylvia was lying, and determined that she was not lying. Then Sylvia walked away angry, and Tobin told Dot that Sylvia was lying.